Hello.
Hello.
Good
So,
evening.
yes, welcome to our show.
Yeah.
I need some assistance, Angela.
Yes.
I need to get out of I need to go to comments.
Yep.
I'm doing this. I'm driving the
She's
screen
driving the bus.
today, you guys. All
It's
right.
it's
Peggy.
the bus to
Hi,
success.
Peggy.
We got Jan too.
Jan Goodman. Hello, Jan.
Mm.
Are we drinking tea today, ladies?
Yeah,
Or do we have any other refreshments?
I have a lot to say about my tea. So, and my cup.
Okay.
So we'll start with the cup.
Okay, let's start with your cup.
So this is Queen's Castle by Alfred Meekin.
It's beautiful.
So it's in English China. And I found it. This was like, I always joke that I planned for my future house instead of, a wedding or whatever. And I bought this like a decade ago at a Goodwill. It was like a whole set. Like
you got a whole set? Isn't that nice? I bet
$12.99.
Yeah, if it was a decade ago, I bet that Goodwill price was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
I've never seen that pattern. And I see a lot of Meekin.
The best part is the handle.
Okay.
Let me try not spill tea on my computer. There's a sword on it.
Oh, is there a sword? Hold it up.
A little sword.
A little closer. I kind of see it. I just see,
The sword, there's a shield, and then the tower.
I love it, Angela.
Because one thing you don't know about me, one of my collections is bladed weapons.
Let me just tell you a secret about myself. What I got in the back room.
I'm a Renaissance gal. Like I have a nice little archway that leads from my living room to my dining room. There's a claymore hanging over it. As in the sword, the claymore.
You really should. Okay, so I know we were both discussing that we weren't ready for like a full house tour, but now you have my curiosity piqued, and I want a tour, young lady.
I'm working on it. I got to get some things handled before I can do a tour.
Hello, Sir Nate. I get to say hello.
How are you, Nate?
I'm so excited you are here.
Oh, so that's the cup, but the tea I'm drinking is my other nerdiness. It's Felix Felicis tea, which is a potion from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
But it's a rooibos tea, which if that's not how you say it, let me know. And it's got caramel and nutty flavors. It's caffeine free. It's delicious.
Well, I'm being predictable already. I am drinking the same Earl Grey decaffeinated that I was last week.
See, I forgot to talk about my tea last week, so I can drink it again
later. And I just have a blue and white porcelain mug like last time.
It looks like watercolors.
I think it's just supposed to be like a chinois, like an enlarged chinoiserie style of a pattern.
I love it.
But I love the Earl Grey, so I'm probably going to be predictable in this show.
Sunday Bubbles. That's fun to say.
Oh, it's Sunday Bubbles. That's Jen. Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen. And the old so-and-so, I just saw her in our sale on...
Is Susan here?
Oh, no, she hopped into my live yesterday.
Hi, Susan. The old so-and-so.
Is Susan?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi, Susan. Nice to meet you.
Yeah, so before we dive in, let's just do a really quick introduction for you, Angela, because I know I probably will have quite a bit of people watching the replay. So I want you to get a nice introduction so they know who you are and all of the wonderful things that you do.
Okay. I have many hats. So I met Heather, I think, through my crafty life first, which Angie Designs is my craft business. I make upcycled whimsy. I focus on repurposing things that in fun and funky ways. And then I discovered the vintage and antique side of YouTube and started selling there. And my name for that is voa.quest in 1910. Everyone thinks I'm a bot, but I am not. And but the VOA stands for Vintage Oddities and Antiques and Quest because, as you've already discovered, I am a nerd. And the 1910 is because I just purchased my first home and it was built in 1910. So some of my new collections like ephemera, etc., I'm trying to focus around 1910 just because I need a goal for that kind of stuff or I'll just collect it all. So I mean, I collect it all anyway.
I know. It's like, why not start a new collection?
Yeah. But if anybody has any questions, but that's me in a nutshell.
Perfect. That's wonderful. So should we discuss our weekends or do you want to dive into segments? I know we kind of have a lot that we're going to be talking about, so I don't want to.
We do have a lot. I do have air conditioning now. It was a bit of a kerfuffle, shall we say. And my biggest thing this weekend is I used duct tape to tape a duct. I never conceived that as a possibility in my life, but I did.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, well, we had freak snow this weekend.
Yeah, we had 90 degrees.
Yeah, it took down half of my younger oak tree, so I was pretty traumatized by it.
It's 7 after 9 now, Nate.
Yeah, and then I went to the Strawberry Festival, which really has nothing to do with strawberries, but it was an antique show. So
yeah, Peggy told me you were going to the Strawberry Festival. I was like, oh, we have one, but ours is definitely all about strawberries.
Yeah, I had a feeling. I was hoping there'd be something, but there really wasn't.
Yeah, like you can get everything strawberry. Like they do strawberry shortcakes, you can strawberry jam, strawberry.
That's what I was hoping for, something like a strawberry juice, anything, but there was nothing.
But actually, my first craft show ever was the Strawberry Festival in like 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a bunch of strawberry themed things thinking that would, sell.
No one was there for the strawberry items.
So I used to make lamps out of teacups and saucers that I found at Goodwill. And I found this set of strawberry, like a little strawberry themed teapot and cups and saucers, and I made a lamp. And I was like, surely somebody there is going to be so excited. I carried that lamp around for 6 months before the right person found it.
Isn't that always the thing where you get so excited and you're like, this is it?
Yeah, I had to stop making themed things for shows because inevitably it just didn't happen.
Yeah. And I didn't get to say hi to Sabrina. I saw Sabrina come in. And Joyce. Hello. Welcome.
All right.
Did anybody do anything on the weekend they want to share? I know Peggy went to something exciting. Too.
Trying to share us out here. Oh no.
I think everyone's just saying hi to each other.
That's okay. I love saying hi to everybody.
Well, then I think we should dive in.
Let's do it.
I think we should.
Well, first we got cheers.
Oh, yes. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers,
Angela. Cheers. Cheers to Brocante.
Mm-hmm.
And the order we have it in today is we are starting with the segment of celebrating collections. So we each have some slides here to share. So I just need to, I'm driving. Here we go. I did it. Okay, this one is one of mine. So one of the collections I wanted to celebrate was antique purses. And I have a photo on one side with the beautiful, colorful beaded bags that I so admire. And
Those are
every
gorgeous.
anytime I would see one at an antique mall, I just never would invest in one because I said, well, what am I going to, how do I, it's kind of a larger investment to start a collection. But gosh, I sure do love them on the wall like that.
Yeah, unless you get lucky. And,
Yeah. Well, I
you know.
did find one that doesn't have a top. So I now have one, but its top is missing. So it's a little frayed. So I just lay it down. But I just think the amount
That would be pretty on a vanity tray.
I have it in my little cabinet, but the amount of work to make those patterns, I think it's breathtaking.
Oh yeah.
And then
I swore off seed beads early on in my crafting career. I was like, there's no way.
No way. I mean, not my eyesight could never do it. I mean, I'm really in awe of just the craft work involved. And then the other one was just something I haven't seen as a collection before, where they are those harder little bags with the big tassels. I thought that was a beautiful collection to have on the wall. So I thought those two together,
I've never come across one of those in person.
I don't either. But when I saw it, I thought, wow, that is beautiful together. Now it makes me want to try to find one of those purses. All right. So now I'm going to switch to one of your choices.
So my celebrating collections are plate walls. I think they're so fun because your possibilities are endless. Like you can, like in the top right-hand corner, just have a few that are very eclectic.
Over the sink there?
Yeah, over the sink. So just a small, like this has me thinking about my dining room and doing something like that. But the one on the left I love because these lettuce plates, I think these are actually newly produced lettuce plates, but you can find these like cheap because a lot of people don't like them, shall we say. But
I do. I have some right over there.
That green and that blue, of course, you can see the hint of a chandelier and like a French sideboard there. It's
I'm
gorgeous.
here for the lettuce, or some people call them cabbage plates, whatever you want to call them. I'm here for it. I'm here.
Yeah, above that buffet and like the swoop. And then the one on the bottom is more like, so they've taken old china and put new funky images on them. So it's like mixing like pop art with antiques. And I love like a dichotomy of like something old, something funky, and putting it all together.
I like that a lot. I didn't realize that was.
Well, I just bought some. Well, I don't know. I mean, I bought them because they were Limoges.
The plates were Limoges?
I bought a set of 3 Limoges plates that have a botanical design on them in gold. They're square.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but I love them. So, yeah, so there are plate holders. They're like a spring, and they just have little hooks. So there's 4 hooks, so it can go on round ones. And then it has a little thing in the back that you can hook over a nail or a picture hanger.
Yeah. Is that what, Joyce, are you saying that sometimes those ones with the springs will chip the actual plate?
Yeah, they can.
Yeah.
I always get the ones that have the little rubber. You can get ones that have like a little rubber coating on there, and that helps with it. But there are others that put less stress on the plate.
Okay. Shall we move on to the next slide?
Next slide. You want me to move us? Or you got it?
I got it. Okay. So the other celebrating collections category is I decided to share bird cages, and all of these photos are from my house, from my collection. The first photo here is a collection that sits in my windowsill behind the sofa. And I love these because they are fairly easy to find. I think they're mostly from the 80s, brass made in India, but they're super sturdy. They are not the chintzy stuff you can get at the lobby crafty stores type places. These are sturdy brass beasts, and I have found 3 different sizes, and the littlest size I put on this adorable pedestal that I found completely separately. I didn't even plan to put them together, but then when I got home, it just fit snug right in there, and it's like it was made for that little baby bird cage, and it lifts it up, and so you can see them behind my sofa. I love it. So
how big is that small bird cage? I'm just trying to.
About that big.
Oh,
I could go get it.
short.
It's a little one. Mm-hmm. It's like about
I love brass.
Yeah, and this is that good solid brass.
No, Michelle, you wouldn't care at all. No.
And then the other 2 bird cages, I have this one in the kitchen, which is definitely more Asian. I'm not sure if it's made out of bamboo, but it's similar. And so it's a much more lightweight, and I just have some fake birds and fake foliage in there and flowers and stuff, but
they won't die.
And then in the living room here, in front of my game table, this is the most recent bird cage. This one is much more Victorian in style. It's definitely older. I don't know if it's an antique, but just by the way the hinge on the opening is.
Now I have a white one like that. Is your bottom missing from yours?
No.
Oh, see, my bottom is it lost the plot somewhere. That's okay.
But yeah, so that one I kind of did one of those, a nod to Harry Potter in a way, because it's like a stack of books inside, and then I've got a little hourglass in there, and a little antler.
It's like that. Is the book of monsters? Is it going to start snapping at people? Is that why it's in a cage?
I don't know. I like them. I think just for it's like adding a little tiny piece of architecture. And especially since my house is a little mid-century house that has no architecture, I enjoy it. It's who are we waving hi to? Shelly?
No, I was like, I feel you.
Oh, okay.
Hi, Shelly.
You were waving. Okay, so that's it. That's my celebrating collections. So then, do you want to switch, or do you want me to switch?
I can switch. So I only had one collection this.
Oh, you did.
But our next segment is media musts.
All right.
Look at this one, because we can both talk about this one. We've talked about it before.
We talked about it before. We probably should
talk about it again.
Yes, but I feel like if we don't acknowledge the gal who brought Angela and I together at first, bonding over French chateaus, we have to acknowledge this is a YouTube channel called The Chateau Diaries. If you have not heard of it, it became super popular over the quarantine. A lot of people found her channel that way. It has become quite a saga in a way.
That's how I found her.
Yeah. And in reality, it's because she has such a large chateau, it's filled with family, friends, volunteers.
Life, love, and laughter.
She has a lot of workers, gardeners, and other people who work. So there really is there ends up being a rotating cast of characters in a way for this YouTube channel. She vlogs. She
goes into detail on like certain decorative arts, and
yes, she is very passionate about fabric, wallpaper, all pattern, China.
Before and after the quarantine, she travels, and she'll show you fantastic places. So for me, who still can't really travel, like it's like jumping into it.
Yes.
Like it's traveling from your living room. It's fantastic.
Yes, I would agree that it's definitely a wonderful way to escape and do a little traveling from your bed or sofa. And I love her personality. It's just she's one of those individuals that she exudes joy most of the time, and she really is quite she has an infectious type of personality.
Yeah, she always
enjoy watching her.
largely looks on the bright side of things,
Definitely.
which
I
I
would
agree.
recommend if they haven't seen this show, wouldn't you recommend to go back to like
Yeah,
2019?
I watched it all in order.
Yeah, I recommend going back
Like,
because then you really get an idea
yeah,
of
you get to know everybody, you get
her
to know what
history.
they've oh, well, yeah, so the Pethricks, they're the chateau. So they Michael Pethrick is the reason why she's on YouTube, because he convinced her, because she was doing like IGTV like vlogs, and the first videos are that vertical on her YouTube channel, until he was like, listen, you need to do YouTube. And so you will see if you go back and watch, Michael appears on her channel as well.
Yeah, I do think he kind of helped.
How to renovate a chateau without killing your partner is another one. It's very
Yeah.
it's good.
Yes.
But we recommend this, obviously, and
Yes, this is
we
a
can continue to
high
talk about
recommend.
it. But so the next one, is
That's
just
another one of
delicious.
mine.
Mm-hmm.
This is another YouTube channel that I just wanted to highlight. Not nearly as big or well known as the Chateau Diaries, but this is a gal. Her name is Tammy, and she, I believe, married an Italian, and that is how she moved from Texas to Milan. And she is there. I believe she has an older daughter. She isn't quite as forthcoming with like her whole history, but I enjoy it for all of the videos of the flea markets. That bridge there in that photo, you can see kind of the little white tents. Uh, that was a flea market she went to, and it's just, she visits so many wonderful little stores. And the way she explained it is kind of their antique stores and their thrift stores are kind of combined. So if she says she's at a thrift store and you kind of see higher prices, that's just because, I guess, how they
It's a
do
little
it
bit
there.
of everything.
Yeah. But I do enjoy it because it's, as like with the Chateau Diaries, it's just another way of really transporting yourself to somewhere else. And oh my gosh, some of the items, she has a great eye. I don't know if she has a decorator background, but she really has
I
a
mean,
great eye. She shows so many wonderful things.
Heather, I think we should just start a new business that involves us traveling and picking up things and bringing them back to sell.
Well,
I mean,
I am definitely not adverse to that idea in the least.
so if anybody in the chat wants to has funds they just don't know what to do with, let us know.
Now you're crowdfunding.
Yes, the crowd. But so my media must takes you more to another time than another place, though it takes place in Melbourne, Australia, in the 1920s. It's Miss Fisher's Murder Mysteries. It's now on Acorn, but she's this fantastic. She comes from a wealthy background. She comes back to Australia, is a flapper, basically does whatever she wants, but she becomes a lady detective, and she's just fabulous. She is fabulous. Like, I included a bunch of her costumes just because they're fantastic. She's fantastic.
Did this start as a book?
It was
and
a
then
book
turn into a
by
series?
Carrie Greenwood, and I tried to read the books, but like it's the show, just the actress just makes it. And it was only on I think for 3 seasons, and there was this huge crowd, like, clamor for more. And so
Mhm.
they actually did a movie that aired in 2020 on Acorn. So I haven't gotten to watch the movie yet.
That's just something
So
to look forward to.
I know I might have to sign up for the free Acorn trial so I can, one, watch all 3 series again, and two,
Yeah.
watch the film.
Yeah, it sounds like I should look into the
I
Acorn
think you would
too.
like her. It looks at a lot of social issues around the time too, which is
Mhm.
interesting. Okay, I think that's everything for our media. If y'all, have recommendations for us, let me know. you watched Lady Mary Beth? I have not watched Lady Mary Beth.
Oh, yes. I watch her. She is really good. I might highlight her, but she is a Houston uh, native who has ties to Germany. Her husband still has a lot of family in Germany, and he has a family home still in Germany. So she travels back and forth from Houston to Germany. But she is a YouTuber, and her channel is definitely it promotes consignment and thrifting, and she has her main passions is kind of on the lines of like a Martha Stewart. She has a great passion for table settings, and sometimes she'll talk about recipes, but she has a great love for like finer dining, setting a nice table and being creative and finding things at these amazing consignment stores. Every time I watch one of her things, I'm like, I wish I had a consignment store like that here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, she's really lucky over there.
All right. So our next segment is inspiring interiors.
Oh, this one is mine.
Yours
And it's kind of funny because it's got plates on the wall, which is what you had for collections.
Ta-da!
I just thought this was something I don't normally see. I don't normally see plates in a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And this is definitely a French bathroom. This is a photograph from France. And I love the chandeliers with the little half shades, the little sconce chandeliers with the half shades. And I thought it was interesting. It's like a little bit rustic and a little bit feminine without being too girly.
I like the
unique.
the mix of tiles on the backsplash there.
Yeah, it's like that's a little bit more warm and rustic, and then it has the blush paint.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought, wow, I have not seen a bathroom like that, nor have I seen plates on the wall in the bathroom yet. I guess it works in France, and I was
maybe that's what needs to happen in my bathroom. I have a gigantic bathroom, like it's huge. I don't understand why, but
I would love a huge bathroom. I'm jealous.
But the shower's not huge. Like there's just a lot of floor space.
Maybe you should do something about like designing your bathroom on your channel.
Oh. Well, I think we discussed last week. First, I have to make a door that shuts.
Yeah, the door. The door is priority.
First.
Yeah. But the other picture is just it's inspiring to me because of the scale. It's something I can't do in my home because if I had an entryway table as big as that gate leg table,
you couldn't get
inside. It would take up the whole room. I mean, but yeah, it's big enough where it can hold all of those amazing terracotta plants with the geraniums and still have places to put your keys or your purse or something. So I'm inspired by the scale, I think, mainly because I am envious.
I love the most is that table has a drawer.
Drawers are good. But if you don't have a drawer, then you just need a box.
True. But my kitchen had no drawers. 0 drawers in my kitchen, which is problematic for many reasons. But I got a piece of furniture with drawers and threw it in there.
Good idea.
Because you have to have a junk drawer, right? It's a requirement.
There's always, even if you think you aren't going to have a junk drawer, you're going to be throwing your junk somewhere.
Well, mainly
ends up being on the counter.
It's not a junk drawer. It's just a drawer to put it like my batteries and my screwdrivers. Yeah.
Your pens and your scissors and batteries and whatnots.
Okay. This one is also yours.
Yeah, I kind of overdid it probably. But
I have like 6 slides coming up. It's fine.
I just liked it because of the style, I guess. The kitchen, I loved the antique.
I love that light fixture.
Yeah, the antique piece as a island, I love. The oil painting on the wall, I love. I wouldn't do it because I'd worry about getting schmutz all over it, but I still love how it looks.
Well, if it's one you bought for $3 at a thrift store.
There you go.
Okay.
That's a good
But
point.
then there's also art further down on those little shelves.
Yeah, on the little shelf, there's like a little piece of art and then that little pottery. Yeah, it's one of those that just I like it. I don't know. I was
Like,
inspired by
it's
it
very
somehow.
interesting. I love it.
And then the other photo I picked because of the tiles.
That tile is amazing.
That's one of those things where if I ever were to get a house that had, vast ceilings and open spaces like that, this reminds me of Stephanie's chateau. I mean, I know hers were antique terracotta floor tiles, but
That they found in the attic.
yeah, but it still kind of reminded me of that. I loved
Mhm.
the play with the multi colors in there, but I think it inspired me because it just reminded me of a beautiful tile floor you would find in France. So I
That's
loved
lovely.
it.
And that door that's just like open, just
Yeah,
waiting for a chicken to
there's
wander through.
yeah.
Catwoman. There we go.
Spud.
So, my inspiring interiors have a theme, and it's Art Nouveau. Like the arches, the windows, the light. I just love it so much. And then all the detail. I I really want to find a stained glass, um, a large piece of stained glass that will fit. There's a window in the wall of my living room because it went out to a summer porch that they closed in.
Oh, so you mean you want the window to be as like an interior divider in the house?
Well, yeah, well, it is there.
Uh-huh.
Right now I have a mirror hanging in it just
Oh.
to like bounce the light a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But it's just this big hole in the wall in essence that
Okay.
used to be a window.
Mhm.
But I want to find a piece of stained glass to put there because I do like arches. One of the reasons why I bought my house is has little archways. So, yeah, I like the movement of arches, you know? And it feels like
They're
a Hobbit
stunning.
gateway. Okay, that's why.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're stunning. The stained glass on the bottom right there, oh my god.
It's stunning. I can't.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah, I can't.
It's like I have to look away. It's so beautiful.
The one in the bottom left as well, which I don't know with the green ceiling, and I don't know if you can tell, but like there's like a painted design around the top of that cove ceiling.
On the
That's
green?
yeah,
I know. I can't
it's
quite
very
tell.
subtle. Yeah,
They're
I
beautiful.
mean, I like to look at pretty things. I don't necessarily have to live in a space like this, but I can have eye candy. Love
Yes.
eye candy. But this brings us to our history highlight, which y'all asked me for this. There are elves living there. It's funny. So, this week we're talking about Art Nouveau because I've had questions about like when was Art Nouveau, what was Art Nouveau, and it was a decorative time period, and it went from the 1890s to 1910, and it was falling out of favor but definitely ended with the start of World War One. You can't really talk about Art Nouveau without talking about the arts and crafts movement, which
Agree.
happened first. But it was much more linear. It was also influenced by nature, but it was again more regimented and was an answer to the industrialization that was happening at that point in time. Everything was being made in factories, and they wanted to go back to like handcrafted or well crafted things. And so this was a continuation of that, but it kicked the drama up like
Mhm.
5 notches. So you still had influences from nature, but the lines were very fluid, and you had these things called whiplash lines is what, and asymmetry was a big part of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And so they also wanted to break down the barrier between fine art, because fine art was this thing that was untouchable for most people and not usable. So they wanted to make art apply to everything. So everything was beautiful and useful. Yeah. It's funny because I was reading an article and they said, yes, so think Rivendell. Rivendell is Art Nouveau, even though it was written before that.
And Art Nouveau and
Well, after that.
Art Nouveau and architecture, it was a lot more prevalent in Europe than in America.
Yeah. So now I'm going to highlight some important just figures in Art Nouveau. And Victor Horta this is the Hotel Tassel in Brussels, I believe. Now I have to get my notes because you'll know. But this was the very first Art Nouveau house built in Brussels by Victor Horta. It was finished in 1893. But you'll see like the big arched lines, like having this basically the roof open, so light just flooded down. And then it moved from there to Paris because the man who designed the metro entrances that you can still find in Paris went and saw this house and worked with Victor Horta before bringing it back to Paris. And that man's name was Hector Guimard. I think I'm saying that right. But of course, it reached its like peak during the 1900s Paris International Exposition. And then it moved from architecture because they wanted everything to flow. So they wanted, the lamps, the glass, the stuff you wear, the woodwork, all to flow with this design. So you all will know Louis C. Tiffany, who is known for his stained glass, and then his lamps, and then his jewelry. Of course, Tiffany is still around today. Less Art Nouveau these days. Emile Gallet was a glass artist who was very prevalent at the time. Emile Gallet and Louis Margerel, the furniture maker there, were both from a town called Nancy. I don't know if that's how you say it in French, but that was a very a school of Art Nouveau that was very prolific in all kinds of applied arts. And then Lalique is a name a lot of us in the vintage community will recognize for glass, but René Lalique started with jewelry, and then he opened a glass house as well.
Is that a brooch?
It's a brooch.
Wow.
I think it could be a pendant. I couldn't make it out. Most of these images come from Wikipedia. Wikipedia Commons. If you need more information, you can find them there.
Mm-hmm.
But Louis Margerel was a furniture maker, and like some of his designs are just stunning. But I went down a Lalique jewelry rabbit hole for hours.
Like that's beautiful. That's a beautiful piece.
I wanted to put them all on one side. I was like, okay, we have to rein it in here.
That's gorgeous.
But these are just, and then in other countries, it was known as other things. Like Gustav Klimt was popular in Belgium around this time as well. But like the new style, I think in Hungary it was the secession style.
That's what they considered Art Nouveau.
Art Nouveau, yeah. Style? So it was slightly different in everywhere. There's the Glasgow School,
okay,
which is around this time period as well. And so you'll find just very like Gaudi in Barcelona. Mm-hmm. He was happening around this time as well.
Okay. I see how that kind of fits in.
Man,
Really quick, I
it's
have to say hi to Liana.
hey, Liana.
I'm so happy to see her here. Just I'm so excited. She's one of my subscribers. I talk to her all the time in my comments, and I am so glad you came.
Yeah, William Morris was arts and crafts, and he heavily influenced the way Art Nouveau happened in England. So, and then my favorite, who actually did not want to be referred to as
Oh,
an Art Nouveau artist
he
because
didn't?
he thought it was trendy, and
Oh, he didn't want to be part of the trend.
and really, it lasted for 20 years, so he wasn't wrong. But he was a Czech artist, Alphonse Mucha, which I believe Mucha means fly in Czech, but that's a
Wow.
that's a side thing. But he tried to get into a school for the arts in Prague, and he was denied. And so he was doing art for advertisements, and then Sarah Bernhardt saw his art, asked him to do this particular poster for her play, and he just took off from there. And as far as this time period, like democratized art in a way, because this art was in, your everyday advertising.
Mhm,
So people could have this art, like
mhm.
posters or things like that. Um, but Mucha did other things. He designed jewelry, which I just discovered. And then this image here at the bottom was something he designed to offset Fouquet was a jewelry maker. And this was his jewelry showroom. And he designed it to
Wow.
set off Fouquet's jewelry.
Oh my
And I
goodness.
believe this is now a protected um, edifice, shall we say.
Wow.
But yeah, I love Mucha's prints. I want to get the Four Seasons and put them somewhere, but I want big ones.
Yeah. Oh
I
gosh.
want full
Is that
size
like the
ones.
front desk, that large
I
piece?
know. Look at the peacock up at the
Yeah.
ceiling.
It's
Yeah,
it's beautiful.
it's
Can you
amazing,
imagine walking into that to look at jewelry?
right?
I mean,
Well, first of all, I think it was probably one of those places you needed an appointment to go to. So if if you need an appointment,
Jen from Sunday Baubles, she's got all the feels. I can see it. She does. She is all about antique jewelry, and I wanted to showcase her channel, but I'll just give her a little. She has a great channel, guys.
I'll have to check it out. 'Cause I
Well,
love
yeah, I definitely want to. I'll highlight her in a future one too, but
it.
you should check her out.
But yeah, so I mean, Mucha there's a rabbit hole. I mean, I could have added so much more information, but I just wanted to give, a general overview of,
Well, I love all the pictures you brought
yeah.
through. I am. I almost think that maybe we should do just Lalique jewelry, just by
Oh
the way
man.
you were talking about it. That would be
I
fun.
there is this it was a bracelet and had like, oh, Joyce, I need to send you this picture. So it has a woman's face and she's like surrounded by green, and it's like a cuff bracelet and it's got like white beads for the rest of it. But it looks like she's wearing a green hat. It's a frog, Joyce. She's got a frog o- on her head. It's just so like out there, but it's gorgeous.
Fantastic out there, but
And
fantastic.
yeah, again, me, yeah, perfect. Um, I didn't have room to add it to the slide, or I would have. So I'll send you the picture, Joyce, because it was stunning.
That
So
sounds
now,
awesome.
I'm like, so maybe I'll stumble upon a piece of Lily jewelry. Unlikely.
Yeah,
But
I would assume, yeah, anything of that caliber, those flow through the
yeah, it'd be like finding a
Smithsonian auction or Christie's auctions, all of those. If they
it'd be
ever
like
trade
finding a lost
hands,
Fabergé egg, you know?
yeah, if they trade hands, it's so out of
Unlikely.
our realm.
But that is the general gist of what Art Nouveau is all about. It actually, it fell out of favor very quickly. It wasn't like celebrated until around the 1960s.
Interesting.
But as far as like what I was going to put the Metro gate in there, but again, I could have had 20 slides, y'all. And there were over like 120 of them at the height. But then a lot of them, I believe, were probably torn down for war use during World War One. But I'm glad that some remain, and I want to walk through one someday.
Yeah, that house looked incredible.
Yeah, and that's in Brussels. There are some in Paris as well, but the Hotel Tassel, is the name of that house, was the first Art Nouveau building completed in
Okay,
1893.
so it's not a museum, it's an actual hotel that you can stay at?
I don't know if you can say it. It might be a museum now. It was like like a townhouse, I think, when it was built for like one person.
Gosh.
And then he built his own. Yeah, look at the floor. Yeah, the floor.
Yeah.
It's also good. But do we want to put a pause on the slides and do our favorite things for the week?
Oh, sure. I forgot we were doing favorite things.
Favorite things.
Keep going.
I'll do a jingle.
Okay, so do I need to scooch us back?
Yeah, make us bigger.
There we go. Okay, who wants to be first? Who wants to do their favorite thing first?
If now, do my favorite thing first.
Yeah,
I actually have
this driving thing, guys. Whoop.
Oh,
that's not it.
Big face, little face.
Big face, little face. Big face, little face?
Oh, nope.
Oh no, Heather's off-roading. No. I mean
that will work.
I don't know. All I got is this. Let's just go back to this.
Okay, that's fine.
Let's just stay here.
This is one of the only Art Nouveau things I own. So if you watched the craft off last month, I made an Art Nouveau lamp to fill the gap. But so this is an Art Nouveau necklace. Can you see I want to say those are lilies carved into it. The glass does not glow, alas, but it's this lovely Y. The chain is so thin. So thin. But then
I love all of those beautiful check glass pieces from the 20s.
And then I just picked this up. So I sell my crafty things in a local shop, and Steph, who runs the shop, Hoot and Howl, in downtown Morgantown, if you're ever around. It's amazing.
Hoot and Howl.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
She also sells vintage things, and she had this tray. Now, when she had it had a doily in it. Then she's like, "Oh, but you can replace the doily." And I was like, "I ain't putting a doily in it. I'm putting an ephemera in it." Look at that!
I love it.
So I put some of my monies in there.
I love that.
And I think I'll probably switch it out and do some postcards or what have you. But it just has this. It's not terribly old, I don't think. But it's got this rubber gasket around it, and then it's two separate pieces of glass.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just sandwich whatever you would like in there.
I want one.
And you can, it's like, right? I never even knew this was a thing. Because I picked it up and I was like, oh, I don't like that doily. And so this is one of those paper doilies.
Oh, okay.
But then she's like, "Oh, you can switch that out." And I turned it over and I was like, "Oh, I know what I'm going to put in there."
Don't you love it when you're like, oh, this has such possibilities?
Possibilities. Those are my
Love
favorite
that.
things for the
That's
week.
an awesome favorite thing. I just brought one of my dolls as my favorite thing today,
I
guys.
want to see. I want to see.
This is I brought her. She's the oldest doll that I have. And I'm not super knowledgeable, but I'm pretty sure she is German. And she has one of those really old kid leather bodies. And I feel like I really rescued this one because I like had to add like medical tape around, because when I found her in a box, the sawdust was just falling out. She has
Oh no.
tears and rips all over this little leather body. But I mean, it's obvious her outfit is original and it has like amazing lace
Look at
detail
her
on there.
little teeth. There's a little
Yeah,
gap in her teeth.
yeah. But I mean,
I love that.
she could be anywhere from
She
1850s
doesn't
to
look haunted.
1900, but
No.
and if you ever see an old doll, the paint, usually their face,
Mm-hmm.
the paint will have a really luminous quality that you don't see in the painting of like a porcelain doll that you might find from the 70s or 80s or something like that. But so I brought my oldest antique doll as one of my favorite things.
She's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, German or French doll. Oh, again, if we travel and source these things, we can bring them back. I'm just putting it into the universe.
Put it in the universe. Put it out there, Angela. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Just, yeah.
Because there was that couple from Australia.
I did rescue her, Joyce. I really feel like I did.
Yeah. It's a doll hospital. Oh, now I have something else I can do for media next week. That just went off in my head. But I'll save it for next week.
Okay, you can save it for next week.
But we do. So we like to wind things down with quotes. I'm not going to read you all a sonnet this week. But you want to?
Sure, I'll do my quote.
Go for it.
Quote. All right. Now I just oh, there it is. All right, here it is from Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Never let anyone drive you crazy. It's nearby anyway, and the walk is good for you.
Yeah. I mean, the steps. You need your steps. It's important. What's in Armand Marseille? See, I know nothing about dolls.
Oh, yeah, Marseille. That's a very coveted German maker, but there's nothing on the back that would indicate that it was a Marseille doll. Just like a number. It says W20, I believe, on the back of her neck.
There's just T in my T. It's not a G and T. Though someday.
Who said it was a G and T?
No. Also asked what's in my tea. I'm like, oh no, just tea. It's a rooibos tea. It is Felix Felicis tea, which you can find. Fandom blends by Adagio Teas. They have teas for like every fandom. Like I wanted to make sure they still made this before I told you all about it. Mm-hmm. But there's Doctor Who teas. There's Game of Thrones teas. There's, I mean, literally any fandom whatsoever. Somebody's made a blend on there that you can drink. But I can do my quote. My quote's a little more I don't know what the word is. What is the? Do you want to share it?
I have to share it. I'm sorry. Gosh darn it! I'm not driving well. Here we go.
So Walter Benjamin was Benjamin, German critic and philosopher. So every passion borders on the chaotic, but the collector's passion borders on the chaos of memories.
I love it. I love your
love it.
quotes, Angela.
Well, because I mean, it's funny because you live. I love touching old things, like, and trying to think, what, who loved this, who used it.
That's what it's about. I mean, that's why we want to take it home. Is because we want to be able to touch it and feel like it transports us, like it's a portal to the time period. And what are we laughing at now?
Joy says, "What does Doctor Who taste like?" I don't have Doctor Who teas, so I don't know.
I bet there's some bergamot in that tea.
There probably is.
I'm throwing that in there.
Hopefully it doesn't taste like fish fingers and custard.
No.
That would be bad. We buy memories, and like I think actually it's Michael Petherick, who I know via YouTube, and Stephanie Jarvis, that it's like being caretakers of things. Like somebody loved it and held on to it and cared for it so long, so it it lasted 70 to 100 years. And if you also put your love and care into it, it can last equally as long for somebody else to discover and put their passion into.
Very well put. And we are at 7:57. I think that the second B&B Monday has officially concluded.
Yes.
Wow. Thanks everybody for coming and sharing an hour with us. This was fun.
I love hanging out with y'all on a Monday.
Yeah.
It makes the start of the week fantastic.
It does.
So I hope we'll see you all next week on my channel.
Yep. We're going to be on Angela's channel next week.
Oh, do you have anything coming up you want to share?
Not really. I mean, I am going to be guesting on a live sale on Claudia's channel June 1st, but I'm trying not to bring too much of sales into this part of my world. I just want to talk about old stuff.
If you don't follow Heather, you should follow Heather and me as well, so that you can catch us the next time. Next Monday it will be on my channel.
Yes.
Oh, which I am off the next day, so it might be a G&T. Might be a
so maybe we can make it an hour and a half or longer then, if you're.
We'll see. If there's anything you all want for the next history highlight, drop it in the chat or leave it in a comment after.
Yes. And you know what? I just got my community page, so I could try to do a poll. So maybe we could try to figure out something of like we could pick one or two things and then they could choose what we do.
Perfect.
That's an idea.
Oh, thanks. Cha-ching king.
Oh, thanks, guys. It was so nice to see Jen and Liana. I'm so happy you came. Liana's from Australia, so I wasn't sure the time for her.
Yeah.
But
it's almost it's around 12 hours difference, isn't it?
I don't know.
Close. It's close to 12 hours.
It's close. Well, this was fun, guys.
Bye, everybody.
End the chat now?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to end the chat now.
Have a good night.
Driving.
Cheers.
Bye, everybody.